Good morning, viewer. Welcome to our Glory Globe TV. Here's the breaking news. The export of live animals is a thriving, lucrative business for India. It was only the inclusion of cats and dogs in the draft bill that sparked outrage. On June 7, the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying announced a proposed change to the Colonial Livestock Importation Act 1898 to include the export of live bovines, sheep, goats and pigs. The draft Livestock and Livestock Products Importation and Exportation Bill 2023 would now include horses, donkeys, cats and dogs. The proposal triggered an immediate outcry. In response, the bill has now been withdrawn, which might seem to show commendable even unusual willingness to listen to wider social views. But this does not quite close the matter. The fact that it was proposed at all inadvertently draws attention to the growing importance of India's export of live animals for slaughter. A cursory search through trade data across the internet shows that a multi-million-dollar export of live animals from sheep, goats and bovines, buffaloes and cattle to geese, chickens and turkeys takes place annually through various export-import policies from India. World Bank data ranks India as the second largest exporter of live goods, mainly to the Middle East. Indian ports proudly report export of live farm animals alongside mining products as evidence of their success, seeing no difference between inanimate resources of trade and sentient animals. Reports by Brook India and Donkey Sanctuary confirm widespread illegal trade in donkey meat, skin and live donkeys from Andhra Pradesh to China at an alarming rate. India remains the second largest exporter of bovine meat with 2 billion export trade with Vietnam alone. The bill, which for now stands withdrawn, is no mere accident but an attempt to consolidate and strengthen an existing trade regime in live animals and products derived from them. As a country rich in biodiversity and culture, India is in a unique position to set the stage for ethical, sustainable practices. The live exports of animals from India is an abhorrent practice that must be vehemently opposed on multiple fronts. Not only does it perpetuate unimaginable cruelty against sentient beings, but it also exacts a heavy toll on the environment and poses significant risks to public health. It is time to confront the inherent moral, ecological and health implications of this trade and take decisive actions to end it. Central to the concerns raised by this proposed legislation are annual welfare issues. The live export industry has a disturbing track record of creating conditions for the extreme suffering of animals. Animals have to endure long and painful journey, packed tightly into cramped, unsanitary conditions. The overcrowding, inadequate ventilation and lack of access to food, water and rest lead to immense stress, injuries and compromised welfare. Live animal export has major environmental implications. It requires substantial energy resources, contributing to greenhouse gas emissions, and the realities of dealing with animal wastes mean pollution and waste issues at both the departure and destination points. The live export trade also poses significant risks to public health. The close proximity and confinement of animals during transportation create ideal conditions for the rapid spread of infectious disease. As the pandemic years have shown, the potential transmission of zoonotic disease from animals to humans is a real and pressing threat. Past instances globally have shown that live exports contribute on the spread of diseases such as avian influenza and foot and mouth disease, putting not just the livestock but human lives at risk as well. This disease can jump borders and seas, potentially leading to global outbreaks. It is important to acknowledge that much of the public outrage against the current bill has emerged from inclusion of dogs and cats seen as household pets in the definition of livestock. Some more worryingly have described it is a panacea to India's stray animal problem. Don't kill them at home but export the problem and the sin associated with the slaughter and profit from it. While angst over potential feline and canine suffering is wholly understandable and justified. It prompts a larger ethical inquiry, and we prefer to delineate which animals are deserving of protection and which are not. Beyond the Seaford, Glory Globe TV, Delhi, India.